Wish has finally landed in the UK on Disney Plus, and of course I jumped to watch it, and I didn't mind it. It's never going to be my favourite Disney film, but I thought it was quite a sweet story with some good songs. I'll mention my personal highlights in a bit. Beautiful animation and some really good characters as well. For information, it has 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb at the moment. That's across 24,000 reviews and ratings. So it seems to be one that people generally like, but it's not an instant hit, such as we see with the likes of Frozen and Encanto. Interestingly, I feel like this is a hybrid of Frozen and Encanto, not in terms of the narrative, but just with the vibe that I'm getting from this film. It feels a little bit Encanto, a little bit Frozen. That's not necessarily a bad thing. This, of course, was released in 2023. It's directed by Chris Buck and Fon Virasanthon, and it stars Ariana DeBose as Asha. And Asha goes to visit the king, who is the king of this city of roses, which is a wonderful name, and she asks him to grant her elderly relative's wish. Now, this comes about because the king is keeping everybody's wishes. He has taken everybody's wishes and stored them in a place, a safe place, apparently, and once every now and then, he will grant one person their wish. That seems lovely, but it also means that those people aren't remembering their wishes, so they're not able to actively work towards their wishes. It's completely in the hands of the king, which in itself is obviously a bit of a problem. And Asha realizes that this is not a good idea. The king's not going to be granting these wishes. And with the help of a star, this beautifully animated star, and some animals as well, she sets about trying to rectify this problem. And I don't want to give away any more than that. I don't want to spoil the narrative too much, because I do feel like it's absolutely worth watching. It's a really sweet story with some really likable characters. I thought Asha in particular was a really brilliant character, very easy to get on with, and the characters she interacts with are brilliant. The townspeople are great. I particularly loved, well, I was going to say I love the characters of the king and queen. What I mean by that is I love the way they were animated. I love how they're written. The king, particularly, this is a character called Magnifico. I don't think I mentioned his name at this point. He is so different to what I'd expected. It's just not what I thought the character would look like, but not in a bad way, just in a different way. But the design of the character is brilliant. He comes across as really menacing at times, and some brilliant, nasty facial expressions. And I think the facial hair definitely makes him look a little bit more sinister. The design of the character is great, and I think the story works really well. It's a nice story about working for your wishes, working together, fighting against this king, of course, and it's a really beautiful, very magical journey. There's a lot of magic in this, and it's stunning to see. And then we have the songs, of course. None of the songs were bad. There was no song in this that I didn't like. There were two songs that really, really stood out to me, and they are Welcome to Roses, which I think was the first song, and a really great way to start things. We also have a song called Knowing What I Know Now. I won't give the context for that song because it is a spoiler, but I really enjoyed that one as well. Those two songs are songs that I might actually go and listen to on their own outside of watching the film. The rest of the songs, absolutely fine, no problems whatsoever, but certainly those are the two that really, really stood out to me. And the music and lyrics are largely by Julia Michaels and Benjamin Rice, and we have some gorgeous vocal performances there as well. It's a lovely film. Is it going to be an instant classic? I don't think so. I've not heard that many people saying that it's the best Disney film in years and they want to buy all the merchandise and fully absorb themselves in the film. But at the same time, I've not heard too many negative things about it either. It definitely seems to be a middle-of-the-road film leaning towards a positive experience. I rather enjoyed it. And as I said, it does kind of feel like a hybrid of Frozen and Encanto, in terms of, as I said, just the vibes we're getting, not necessarily with the story, although, of course, the magical element is running right through it. And I really enjoyed it. I think it was worth the wait. We also have some great vocal performances, both in terms of the voice acting and the singing. We have, of course, Ariana DeBose as Asha. We also have Chris Pine as Magnifico. And there is a song that Magnifico sings, and the song itself isn't one that I'd listen to on its own, but the vocal performance was really great. And I don't have any complaints. There's nothing about this that didn't work very well, and I'm really pleased about that. It may not be an all-time favourite. it might not be one I'd watch again in a hurry. Unlike, I know I keep comparing it to Encanto and Frozen, but I feel like we're getting a similar experience here. Whereas those two films, I want to watch again frequently, quite often. But with this one, I would probably watch it again eventually, not in a hurry to, but watching it once was a really lovely experience. And if you have been considering watching it, I'd say it's definitely worth watching. It is one that I'm glad I didn't bother to go into the cinema to see. I was waiting for it on Disney Plus. I don't think it would have been this amazing experience in the cinema. It might have been. If you had that experience, let me know. But at the same time, it's a good film. I enjoyed it. Wish is a pretty decent animation, and it's one that I think is definitely worth watching at least once.